Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
You could be driving
smooth handling and smart interior styling. Just two reasons why the all-new Honda CR-V was once again named a Car and Driver's 10 Best Trucks and SUV list. Come see your new CR-V today at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Hi gang, Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome as we start another edition of the Clarence Bugs Show. As always, here's hoping all is well with you and yours in your little slice of South Louisiana heaven since the last opportunity we had to spend a little time with you and yours. We start today's show on the national scene, and something you have heard me say God knows how many times. Floor producer extraordinaire, Mighty, and I have this thing where we say, don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. You also hear me regularly talk about how the media lies by omission. You realize there are two ways to lie to people. One is to flat out tell you a lie. The other is to not tell you the truth. You're not necessarily lying, but you're still lying because you omitted what I should have been told. Once again, Donald J. Trump is indicted. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Not. But there has now emerged a very, very troubling pattern. The media and the left has managed to gin up within Americans so much hate for former President Trump that they are now able, through omission and the staging of certain things, to completely ignore telling you the truth about anything else. This week, it became abundantly clear that every single time there's bad news about the Biden-Harris administration or Hunter Biden, you know what they do, right? Yep, indict Donald Trump. That then gives them the opportunity to focus solely on these made-up charges while completely ignoring the news of the day. Now, Clarence, how can you say that? You know the media wouldn't do that. Well, I'm glad you said that. Let me show you the pattern, first of all. March 17th, Hunter Biden finally admits that, yeah, the laptop from hell is real, and yes, it does belong to me. That was March 17th. The very next day, March 18th, Donald Trump indicted. So from there, we go to June 8th. The FBI releases documents detailing a $5 million payment made to Joe Biden from Burisma, sound familiar, the Ukrainian energy company his son was involved with. June 8th, the FBI releases that information. The very next day, June 9th, you guessed it, Trump indicted. July 26th, the plea deal for Hunter Biden collapses. All that negative publicity comes out. You know what happened the very next day, right? Trump indicted. July 31st, Devin Archer testifies in a closed-door congressional hearing. You want to take a guess what happened the very next day? Ding, 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 Trump indicted. 4 times just this year. Every time there's bad news for Joe or Hunter, what do? Well, they indict Trump. But this is twofold, y'all. If it weren't bad enough that our government and its Justice Department is in effect attempting to sway voters' opinions, but this now also gives the media the opportunity to ignore telling you the truth about the story and instead focus on Orange Man bad. 4 times in a row. So the media, being the loyal, lie to the American public people that they are, here's an example. Right after news broke of the $5 million that Joe Biden allegedly received from Burisma, the company, Ukrainian energy company, that his son worked with, for the next 39 days, the big three, ABC, NBC, and C, the BS, spent 527 minutes reporting on Donald Trump's indictment. Monday through Friday and on weekends, the big three combined spent 527 minutes covering the story. Now, you want to take a guess how many minutes they spent covering the $5 million payment that Joe Biden allegedly received from Burisma? And I'm not talking about this many, I'm talking about this many. Lie by omission. Remember when you were a kid and your parents caught you doing something that you know was wrong? You had no business doing that. And they confronted you about it, knowing all along what the answers to the questions were that they were about to ask you. But they wanted to give you the opportunity to come clean. So they would sit there and let you pontificate, speculate, conjugate, until finally they said to themselves, oh, this fool ain't gonna tell me the truth. You found yourself then doubly in trouble, because not only did you not take advantage of the opportunity to tell me the truth, you thought you were slick by leaving out portions of the truth. You didn't really tell a lie, but you left out significant portions of the truth, which in fact is a lie. You see how they play you? 527 minutes of coverage on a bogus indictment against Donald Trump. 0 minutes on an alleged $5 million bribe. But you see, they got you so ginned up. They have your head, and some of you, your hearts, so full of hate for this one man that you're willing to still watch these people as they lie by omission. And you thought that the media actually cared about telling you the truth? Listen, y'all. You don't have to have 20/20 vision to see this. 4 times this year, the very next day after bad news comes out about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, all of a sudden, Trump gets indicted. You know what's even sadder than the fact that we now have government agencies that have been weaponized against the American public? If that weren't bad enough, to have the media sit there and watch all of this unfold, report allegedly on all these misdeeds, and not a one of them has asked the White House, has asked the Democrat Party, excuse me, there's a troubling trend here. We notice every single time there's bad news about Hunter and or Joe Biden, the very next day, here comes some big bombshell expose on Donald Trump. Y'all being played like a cheap fiddle. But they can only do it if you are one of those, and many of you, bless your little old hearts, you don't even know they put you in this position. Many of you have listened and absorbed so much of the orange man bad narrative that you can't even think for yourself anymore. That is tragic for our country. 4 times just this year, The very next day, after an FBI revelation, indict Trump. After Hunter Biden comes out and says, yeah, the laptop is real, yeah, and it's mine, Trump indicted. Right after the FBI releases, we have information here that Joe Biden received $5 million from Burisma. Same company his son was on the board with in Ukraine, making $83,000 a month. The next day, Trump indicted. Bruh, if you don't see a pattern here, you the freaking problem. Just an observation. First break of today's show. Let me get this done. Be careful what you ask for, because when we come back, you just might get it. That's next when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
You could be driving a Honda.
Improved from the front grille to the tailgate and equipped to take you on the adventure of a lifetime, the ride is just different in this new Pilot seat. Come see the all-new 2023 Honda Pilot, now on sale at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Welcome back to this edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, life is a funny thing in that with the advent of the digital age, and particularly social media, it's relatively easy for you to get caught up in things, societal trends, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Social media crazes and the like. For many of you, it's easy to get swept up by the tide. Those of us, however, that have a bit of this behind our lives know that I think I'm going to wait and dig a little bit more into this before I jump on the bandwagon. The recent Black Lives Matter phenomenon is a perfect example. All of America, parts of the entire planet, all jumped on board with t-shirts and signs and slogans and the whole nine. Only to find out later on that they were a bunch of scam artists. Now, for the record, anybody with that much sense would know, or at least should know, that all lives matter. Doesn't matter the color of your skin. All life is precious, and any life should be treasured. But I digress. One of the big things that came out of the whole BLM movement was defund the police. We need to stop spending money on law enforcement. We don't need the police. We need to defund them. We can have community adjudicators. Well, ask the people in cities that did defund the police. Ask them, how's that working out for you? This week, one of the leaders of the pack, Portland, Oregon, after defunding the police, saw cardiologist, heart doctor, Mary Constantino, walking downtown with a friend when an unidentified, apparently homeless man walks up, clear out of the blue, and knocks the you-know-what out of her, out cold, on the street. She wakes up, mouth full of blood, spitting up blood, fearing that any moment she's going to die. So she pulls out her phone, immediately calls 911. But since they, in Portland, have defunded the police, it took 28 minutes before police responded. Now, unless you think, well, they obviously had a lot of other calls going on, which is why it took them so long to get there. And you'd be right. You would be right. Not only did it take 28 minutes for police to get there, but there was also a waiting list of 52 people holding on 911. As you might imagine, this cardiologist was not too pleased with all of this. She says, and I'll just give you the important part, our city is going down the toilet, and we have done this to ourselves. You know, hindsight is a wonderful thing. It truly is. Having the ability to look at something for what it is, and then being able to look at it and go, well, that probably wasn't the best decision I ever made. We all get that. But the important thing is to learn from it. Yeah, that was not my best decision, but you can bet I'll never do anything that stupid again. Defund the police. Now, you know what's scary? The number of people that bought into this narrative, that never took the time to realize, hey, wait a minute. If we defund the police, the criminals will know that we don't have enough police to handle crime, so they can pretty much do whatever the hell they want to do, and it will take 28 minutes or more before the po-po show up. White people, that's the police. That's street slang for police, the po-po. You don't think the criminal element knows this? But because it's all the social craze, because it's all that social media is talking about, we need to defund the police. Well, I ask you again, how's all that working out for you? Now, I'm going to give you the heads up ahead of time to be on the lookout for it. There are cities in this country that are now instituting cashless bail. Pretty much, unless you're accused of murder, they'll let you sign a piece of paper and let you out of jail. Certainly, that's got to be a deterrent to crime, right? I mean, what criminal, wouldn't, after being arrested at the station and then let go with no accountability, what criminal wouldn't say, phew, boy, got out of that one, I'll never do that again? Sadly, as a man of color, what hurts me more than anything is the number of my brothers that look just like me that bought into this foolishness. Because at the end of the day, crime affects the community of people that look like me more than any other ethnic group in America. And we let these idiots get us on the bandwagon of defunding the police. And you realize, do you not, the majority of the victims of these crimes that will never be caught, that will be let out without having to post bail, the majority of them are people that look just like me. All because you let yourself get swept up in the moment. Black Lives Matter. You get swept up in the moment, either forget to or are incapable of thinking for yourself. And now you live in a city where crime is freaking out of control. I ask you again, how'd that work out for you? Ask the people in Portland, Seattle, Oakland, San Francisco, LA, Las Vegas, Kansas City, St. Louis, Milwaukee, and the list goes on and on, Baton Rouge, and on New Orleans, and on Atlanta, and on Newark, and on New York, and on, go down the freaking list. And in every one of these places, the majority of people that are being victimized by crime look just like old Clarence. Maybe at some point you'll decide, next time I'm going to think for myself. I wouldn't place odds on it, but you can't blame an old guy for wishful thinking. Bottom of the hour break. When we come back, Louisiana news. I hear you, Marty. I hear you, brother. I got one ear open and I'm talking at the same time. I do all of that, yeah. But before we take this break, got to take the opportunity to remind you all about something that I hope by now you're starting to get a little more comfortable entertaining. Your final arrangements. I know. Clarence, I don't want to talk about when I die, what's going to happen? Well, better to talk about it now than after you die. Listen, y'all, your family deserves so much more. They truly do. You fell in love with your wife because she's a wonderful person. Why would you leave her facing all of this alone? That's where our dear friend Lee Serio can help. Mark this date down. Last Thursday of August, 31st. Right here at Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Lee wants you to come on out. You can come at 11 if you'd like, watch the live taping of the show, and have lunch. Oh, did I mention Lee is going to pick up the tab for your lunch? And after that's over with, in a very relaxed setting, you'll get to, free of charge, mind you, ask any question you want. Listen, y'all, I have spent the last 43 years of my life interviewing people, talking with people, getting to know people. You're not going to find an easier person on the planet to talk to about a circumstance, end of life, that you may not be comfortable talking about. I dare you, prove me wrong. Come on out last Thursday in August. Starts at 11, and Lee will stay as long as you need him to. It's a great opportunity to take that next step in being sure that those you love have the peace of mind that they deserve. Bottom of the hour break. When we come back, some very disturbing news here in Baton Rouge and the state of Louisiana, for that matter. That's next when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Come see the all-new Mazda CX-90, now on sale at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back for today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. I am tempted to say I had a bit of an epiphany yesterday, but I don't know if it would accurately qualify as an epiphany. I had an idea, an inkling that it was this bad, but I couldn't say for sure that it actually was. Y'all know me, and you know how much I love my Louisiana. There's no two ways about it. So when I saw this story, my heart literally ached for the Bayou State. Here's a question. What do you think the number one cause of death in Louisiana for adults under the age of 45, what do you think the number one killer is in our state? Cancer, because you know we in Cancer Alley. Wrong answer. Automobile accidents, because you know how bad we drive in Louisiana. Wrong answer. Suicide. You know, we had the lockdowns, it exacerbated mental health problems. Got to be suicide. Wrong answer. The number one cause of death in our state for adults 45 and younger is a fentanyl overdose. For 3 consecutive years now, we have set new records for the number of people, Louisianians, dying from a fentanyl overdose. Did you know? Did you have any idea that it had gotten this bad? Last year, just in Baton Rouge, just this one city, y'all, in 1 year, over 300 of our fellow Louisianians died from a fentanyl overdose. In 1 year, in one city. And the 3rd consecutive year, we've set a new record. But Corinne Jean-Pierre will tell you with a straight face, well, fentanyl is at historic low levels in America. Thank God it's in historic low levels, because if not, we'd have people dropping like flies all across the board. So far this year alone, law enforcement has seized enough fentanyl, just so far this year, y'all, enough fentanyl to kill 150,000 people. But the White House will tell you, well, it's at historic low levels. What are you worried about? So as a result, a couple days ago, 1st of August, some new laws went into effect in the Bayou State. Legislators now have gotten real serious about dealing drugs laced with fentanyl. Right now, if you are caught with 28 grams of detectable fentanyl, you face 5 to 40 years, 5 of which have to be served without suspension. Second offense, sentencing jumps to anywhere from 30 to 40 years, 10 of which you have to serve. Third offense, life. No probation, no pardon, no parole. So if by chance you happen to stumble across this show and you are dealing illegal substances with fentanyl in it, be advised. If and when they catch you, they ain't playing, y'all. They are not playing with this crap anymore. For me, it's a sad reality that we had to get to this point before these measures kicked in. But as a conservative, I'm one who believes that government should stay out of the way and let us govern ourselves. Now, obviously, there are many of us that are not capable of doing that. In addition, we have a government, federal government, the Biden-Harris administration, that's of the opinion, well, you know, it's at historic low levels. Last year, y'all, over 106,000 of our fellow Americans died from a fentanyl overdose. Over 106,000. But the White House says, well, it's at historic low levels. In other words, are you going to believe me or your lying eyes? Just in Baton Rouge alone, over 300 of our fellow Baton Rougeans in 1 year died from fentanyl. Y'all realize that's almost one person every freaking day? And to show you how powerful a drug this is, Mike Schutz runs the EMS program in EBR. Great guy, by the way. I've had him on my radio show for years. Mike, in an interview with the CBS affiliate, WAFB in Baton Rouge, said this week that this drug is so powerful that it's nothing for them to get a call on 911 saying somebody's collapsed, we think they're dying, you need to hurry up and send some aid. When they get there, they find out this person has ingested fentanyl. So they give them Narcan, the drug that counteracts the effects of fentanyl. They give them a shot of Narcan, take them to the hospital. They're released from the hospital. Mike Schutz says it's not unheard of after they're released from the hospital that later that same day they get a call at 911 saying, we got a guy that just collapsed and we think it might be fentanyl. We need some help. Can you send somebody? Okay, what's the address? Well, it's such and such on such and such boulevard. Mike says it's nothing for the operators to go, that address sounds familiar. Where do I know that address from? Oh, that's right. We just went there this morning to administer Narcan to someone who was dying from a fentanyl overdose. Mike also told WAFB that recently he saw something he's never seen before. He said at one point during the day, they had 5 ambulances out on calls administering aid to people who had overdosed on fentanyl. 5 of them at one time. That's a self-inflicted wound, y'all. Now listen, I get it. I understand that there are drugs out there that the average person cannot control their urges and their cravings for. You're listening to a guy who lost his only brother because of illegal drugs. So I'm not talking about what I heard. I have been there and done that. It is what it is. I'm not going to try to hide it. I'm speaking from experience, y'all. And at the end of the day, for the federal government to allow our borders to continue to be overrun, inundated, overwhelmed by people who wish us nothing but ill will, while hundreds of thousands of American lives are being destroyed, it's an embarrassment, it is unholy, and it is something that we shouldn't stand for. I don't have but a little time left, and I was about to say, there was a time. Of course, there was a time in this country where we didn't stand for a lot of the foolishness that we do these days. That, my friends, is a different show for a different day. Final segment of today's show. We'll get her done, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and when we come back, we wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close. Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. You know, we started today's show with a segment that fell under the moniker, don't listen to what they say, watch what they do. I'm sorry, I didn't give Marty the opportunity to what they do. Enter New York City. New York City, get a rope. Mayor Eric Adams this week coming out and saying that Joe Biden needs to control the border because we don't have any more room for immigrants in New York. We're plumb out of room. We've been putting them up in luxury hotels and all these different places. We don't have any more room. Huh. Funny how that works out, isn't it? So you know the next step, right? I'm going to put them in tents. So he immediately says, and I quote, we have to localize this madness. We have to figure out a way of how we don't have what's in other municipalities where you had tent cities all over the city. There's no more room indoors. I've got to wonder, how long ago did he have this revelation? Despite all the rhetoric from those on the left, oh, we're a sanctuary city. We're proud. We welcome all immigrants. It's the melting pot and yada, yada, blah, 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 blah. And how many of them now have lost their freaking minds because Texas has said, we're not absorbing all this by ourselves. If the federal government is not going to do its darn job, then we're going to send them to your neighborhood. How many cities now, sanctuary cities, have lost their freaking minds? You know, if I didn't know any better, I would think they weren't that serious about being a sanctuary city to begin with. That was something to make them look good in your eyes. Had no intention at all of living up to the creed that they preach to the rest of us. So Eric Adams, you might get ready. You might want to get ready, son, because they're going to be coming for you. You know how the left does. They will eat their own in a heartbeat. Like I told you, don't listen to what they say. We're a sanctuary city. Watch what they do. We don't have no more room. Now just imagine, with the budget the size of the budget of New York City, if they can't handle the influx, think about other smaller states and what they must be dealing with. Sadly, it gets even worse, y'all. The Centers for Disease Control this week announced that because of all these people that are just walking across the border and setting up shop, because of all this, there is a good possibility that leprosy is going to become endemic in Florida. Did y'all know leprosy has popped up in America? Florida, New York, Louisiana. Did y'all know that? Not only that, but while they were informing us about what's going on with the state of America's health, with all of these folks just walking across our border, I guess they figured, well, we may as well go ahead and let the whole cat out the bag. The National Institutes of Health also reporting a high prevalence of tuberculosis, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, human immunodeficiency virus, measles, and other diseases. And you can pretty much bet it's going to be coming soon to a city near you. All because we now have a federal government that, despite swearing an oath to defend and uphold the Constitution of the United States, is letting people willfully, by the millions, ignore our laws on immigration. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Kamala. Thanks, Democrats. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Not really. My time's up, y'all, and I gotta go. It's getting tougher every day to say it, but God knows I still believe it. This day, maybe more so than any other day in history, I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is, and God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Either way, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you soon. God bless.